We all have an emotional, spiritual, and physical body. But how do they all connect with one another to support your personal growth and development? Stay tuned and find out. Your heart is the body connector of your three bodies: emotional, spiritual, and physical. Your heart has 4 chambers. The top right chamber of your heart is your emotional body. The bottom right chamber is your physical body. And the top left part of your heart is your spiritual body. And the bottom left is your energetic body. Hydrogen moves through your heart 12 times a day. This is what people refer to as your life force energy. If any of your heart's chambers are blocking hydrogen, your life force energy, you can feel disconnected. You will feel tired, fatigued, irritable, depressed, anxious, and sad. Basically, you will feel a sense of numbness in your feelings. So our emotional body represents our outer world, our mind, our masculine energy, and our ego. Our emotional body is how we view the world we live in. It's every thought we have that was creating a feeling and an action. When we experience negative feelings, we are actually blocking our emotional body. An example of this would be when you wake up in the morning and you feel heavy like an elephant, the feeling of being weighted down. This is the start of a negative block stopping you from believing that a new day brings new experiences. When you are open and having processed yesterday's experience, you wake up feeling light and free, almost like you're skipping. In other words, it's like your emotional body is fully open. You are not using your past experience to block any new day creations. Our emotional body is connected to our ego, which creates our outer world. So each experience and feeling is created from there. So when you feel happy, content in your emotional body, you feel light and you feel free and you're able to take the present moment. But when you're blocked, you are singularly focusing on what is directly in front of you, sort of like when you direct a flashlight. It's so close to the wall that you can only see the problem. But the more that you take it back and open, you can start to see more of what is going on in the picture. It opens your awareness. It brings the bigger picture and it creates a clarity in your perspective so that you don't feel clouded or limited in any way. So I believe the emotional body must be cleared and understood before any real spiritual or physical transformation of any type can occur. So let's move on to our spiritual body. So our spiritual body is our inner world. It is our heart connection, it's our feminine energy, and it houses our self-esteem. Our spiritual body has little to do with religion and everything to do with how we connect to our trust in life, our faith in ourselves, and our sense of intimacy, our ability to connect to our outer world, and our vulnerability to our own personal truth. So the inner spiritual world also houses our self-esteem. So our self-esteem is built on layers of beliefs such as the belief of whether or not we are a good person, our sense of self-worth, and then knowing that everything happens in perfect order as a soul choice. Self-esteem is also about believing our truth is valid and having the courage to speak it. Knowing that we are lovable and we are deserving of nurturing relationships and having a solid connection to the life that we live. Ultimately, it is essentially our belief as to whether or not we think we are good enough. So the spiritual body is our feelings and our heart connector. It is where we want to create from. Here is where a vision is held for a loving relationship, successful family, adventures with purpose, a vocation that we love. Our spiritual heart connector is where your first transformational experiences happen. If our emotional body and our spiritual body are in conflict, wanting different things, we will become stagnant and stuck in the mud. In other words, we become unable to move and to grow. When we are stuck, we have a difficulty understanding the reason why things occur as they do, and we are unable to see the bigger picture or visualize a way out of the stagnation. For example, our emotional body can become blocked by a belief that we can't have a loving relationship because our mind stays focused on a past relationship or a negative experience in the past. This focuses the mind to see only dysfunction, and it will therefore be unable to create a new experience because the attention and the consciousness is solely on your past. Sometimes we will create only what we have known before, with the past as a blueprint, and then we wonder why we keep attracting the wrong type of person. The heart is saying, I desire a relationship that is fulfilling, filled with appreciation, sensuality, romance, travel, all of that. Yet the mind is saying, in the background, it's running a loop saying, it can't happen. It can't happen. Because for whatever reason, you believe that you're unworthy of love. Some people have only known controlling and emotional abusive relationships. Maybe it's a parent or a partner. So this has become their normal. Others feel that they already had this perfect relationship in their first love, in their youth, and it was so innocent, and this emotional baggage of fear that they've already experienced it, or they will never have it ever again because it's been lost. Others believe that they have to hide their true self because no one could possibly love them if they knew who they really were, which dooms the relationship before it even has a chance to begin. Because a person cannot love a false image of what someone is pretending to be. And the reason they go on and on and on. Yet real love can only be experienced by two people who have the courage to be vulnerable, by lowering their defenses, standing naked, emotionally, spiritually, to be seen as they are in their strengths, as well as what they judge as their flaws. Our physical body is our body feedback loop to the mind, heart, and our masculine and feminine energies. Our physical body houses our connection to our wholeness. Every thought, mind, every feeling, heart runs through your physical body, and it urges us to take action towards moving and integrating them into our life. Our body houses the body feedback loop, which is the body's language, the ability of the body to actually speak to us. Our body feedback loop allows us to know when we are out of our truth, when we are feeling safe or we feel we're in danger, when we are making healthy or unhealthy choices. It's always allowing us to interpret our feelings such as love, heart flutters, peace, calmness, stress, tension, anger, the body heats up, the heartbeat accelerates, or flu and sickness is somewhat achy in our body. Every organ and every system in our body encompasses the complex tapestry of emotional, spiritual, and physical connection or disconnection. Our physical body speaks to us by how we feel at each moment. Whether we are thriving, we feel happy, light on our feet, lots of energy, excitement, etc. And sometimes when we feel depleted, we feel tired, heavy-weighted, depressed, anxious, blah. We hide. You can determine how the body's basic communication feels in each moment, because every organ and system in our body is speaking to us so that we may live in full connection, joyful life that is found only when pure love and inspiration is experienced. The body seeks to have balance within the body, but also within the mind and the spirit as well. When we start listening to our physical body, we're able to understand that our inner wisdom speaks to us through our body every single day. So when we begin to understand this, we can make the connection as to how our emotional affects how we physically feel. When we start to understand how our bodies speak to us, we are more easily able to fix the thoughts quicker. The body feedback loop is when you notice that your body has a wisdom that is willing to share with you in multiple ways. If you're willing to listen, and the more that you listen, the louder and more often it will speak to you. It can tell you if something is good or bad for you through different forms of feelings. It can tell you if something you've said is against you by having a twitch at the precise moment you said it, or having a sneezing attack at a certain subject that might be brought up. Your body can always warn you against a person that you may want to stay away from by listening to that feeling you get when you first meet someone. For example, do you ever just instantly know that you do not like someone? And if so, it is your body warning you to stay away from those bad vibes and possibly negative experiences. When you learn how to unite these three bodies, you can manifest at lightning speed and your physical healing is in full effect. When you break down the initials of each body, you see they are ESP. And what that means is your intuitive self holds the power to deep healing when you examine your emotional, your spiritual, and your physical bodies. They hold the transformational shifts that most people are seeking. For more information, sign up for my newsletter through my website at jenniferwellness.com, and you will get great tips on how to nourish your mind, body, and soul, as well as information on my upcoming events and retreats. Sending you lots of healing love.